Well, we start off from education, not the good side of education, but the bad side, because the picture looks gloomy for the Upper West region come September when schools reopen. The number of teachers in classrooms in the region is likely to reduce by over 200. And this is because some 200 teachers have applied for transfers outside the region. The teachers have cited the lack of accommodation in some of the communities they serve in as reasons for asking to be transferred. Well, the Upper West Regional Director of the Ghana Education Service, Evans Beba, spoke to our correspondent, Rafik Salam.
Education in the Upper West region has taken a nosedive. Results of candidates in the West African Senior High School and Basic Education Certificate examinations in the last 3 years is the worst in a decade. In 2015, for example, the West District, considered to be the second poorest and most deprived in the region, surprisingly placed first among the 11 municipal and districts in the region in the BCE. Even though they placed first, they had a pass rate of 47.8%. Concerned about the situation, Upper West Regional Minister Suleiman Al-Hassan organized a meeting for major stakeholders in the education sector in the region to brainstorm on the issue. The participants were district directors, retired educationists, and headmasters of second cycle institutions in the region.
Get yourself a project that by the time you leave that particular school where you are heading, something will be there for all who come into that institution, whether they are students, whether they are teachers, whether they are non-teaching staff, will always use to think about you.
One major challenge attributed to the fallen standard of education in the region is the attrition rate of teachers. The situation could be worse once schools reopen in September, as over 200 teachers have applied for transfers to leave the region. Upper West Regional Director of the Ghana Education Service, Evans Beba, is caught flat-footed, forcing him to say that education in the Upper West region is in crisis.
Since yesterday, I've been running out of my office because most teachers want to move away from the region. About 200 or 300 to 300 teachers have filed in application requesting for inter-regional release from the region. They get to some communities, they have no access to accommodation. If you are a teacher, you are not well accommodated, then you can make an input. It's a major teacher accommodation in the rural communities is actually a border. But most teachers in the region commute to the various schools, the districts. Somebody in the Kaleo or even Dafiama prefer to stay in one and commute to Dafiama to teach.
A retired district director of education, Doma Eugene Zongona, is not impressed with the quality of teachers at the schools, especially in the teaching of English language.
So one of the basic courses, you realize somebody is posted to a school, the person has read Dagare. He's posted to the school, and what do you find him teaching? He's teaching English language. Yes, it's true, they are both languages. But you can realize, or you'll see that the methodology, in handling certain aspects of those two languages is quite different.
Reporting for JoyNews, Rafik Salam. Wow.
In politics, the governing New Patriotic Party has justified government decision to postpone the implementation of the closed fishing season. The General Secretary of the party, John Buedu, explains the decision was arrived at owing to lapses in communication and consultation with fishermen and other stakeholders in the fishing industry. Addressing a Thanksgiving service in Cape Coast to mark the 71st anniversary of the formation of the United Gold Coast Convention, Mr. Buedu also indicated the decision on the merit deal by government was purely on the basis of value for money audit that was carried out and many startling revelations that are in the offing. Richard Kojonyakon has more.
The Thanksgiving service in the Central Region was organized to thank God for ensuring successful internal elections of the party in the region and also mark the 71st anniversary of the formation of the UGCC, out of which the MPP emerged. Addressing the party faithful after the sermon, General Secretary of the party, John Boadu, explained why government had to postpone the implementation of the close season after several agitations by fishermen and fishmongers.
Government Thursday started at 11. Upon almost 2 a.m. 11 in the morning, close around 2 a.m. Making sure we scrutinize every detail of every memo that is presented. And it is out of the scrutiny that we realize that this noble idea that the Fisheries Ministry wanted to implement, although it is good, the communication and the buy-in of most stakeholders have not gone down well. He acceded to the wishes of the people. So Nana Danko Akufo-Addo, listening around, realized that although it's a good thing by the Fisheries Ministry, it is important that we do broader consultation in order to ensure that we will have a successful implementation of that particular project.
John Boadu also spoke on the controversial Ameri deal by government. He says several documents are being scrutinized by government based on value for money audits. He indicated Ghana has a strong precedent in Nana Akufo-Addo, who ensures nothing untoward happens under his watch.
There's this thing about Ameri, and for some of us, we think that for the NDC, they can rejoice for a moment. Their time will come. Because going through the records and the kind of fishy deals that went into that transaction, we'll rescind our decision for now. We'll come back again. We'll review that project to make sure that the Ghanaian people get their money's worth. There's value for money for everything that we do. So you must not be despaired at all. Every detail of every activity, not only of the previous government and our government, is being scrutinized.
The General Secretary of the NPP called for humility, selflessness, and a demonstration of integrity by both party executive and government appointees to ensure that the electorates become the ultimate winners. Richard Kwejonya-Akon, Joy News, Cape Coast.
Well, let's take you to the Volta region, where persons with disability in the Nkwanta North District have lauded government's new policy directive on the distribution of 3% of the District Assembly Common Fund allocation to people with disabilities. The beneficiaries say the new directive will lighten the burden of relatives they depend on for survival. The 3% disbursement is to serve as seed capital and also to enable persons with disability earn a living. Fred Kwame Sari has more in the following report.
The new directive discourages the handing of physical cash to beneficiaries, a situation which has been the practice over the years. Under the new directive, beneficiaries will be given support on need basis following a need assessment exercise conducted by their respective assemblies. 60 persons with disability in the Nkwanta North District received starter-up kits and cash based on the result of a need assessment exercise conducted there. The items procured with 3% of the District Assembly Common Fund include deep freezers, corn mill, disability mobility tricycles, sewing machines, and container shops for selling provisions. Others received various amounts of cash to either start a business, support the education, or cater for their medical bills. The beneficiaries appreciated the directive, adding it would enhance their livelihoods and make them independent. If you're safe, express optimism. A refrigerator given her will help her change her life for good. I thank the government for this initiative. Due to my condition, I am unable to do something to earn a living. I have been a burden on my poor family for a long time, but now I've been given a deep freezer, which I'll use to sell sachet water and other frozen products to support myself. I am really happy. The Nkwanta North District Chief Executive Jackson Jakai indicated a team would be constituted to monitor and ensure the seed capital and items provided are put to good use.
Earlier on, this amount was always given to the people, cash, physical cash, and they have families who they depend on. So anytime these monies are given to them, the families even take these monies and use it for their own without recourse to the needs of the people. It was made known to them that these items that has been given to them, we're going to monitor them. We are going to ensure that they use the items for the purpose for which they were given out. That we know where they are located in their households. We're giving them the deadline for them to establish these things. And then that work will be given to the social welfare officers in the district assembly.
Fred Kwame Asaris reports for Joy News.
Before we go, the Chief Executive Officer of the Minerals Commission, Kweku Adey Nkwibwe Isiakun, says he's saddened by the poor state of Ghana and, for that matter, the African continent, despite the enormous deposit of rich mineral resources on the continent. He says until the continent undertakes a rigorous structural transformation anchored on appropriate technology, innovation and creativity, the situation will remain the same. He was speaking at the 5th University of Mines and Technology Biennial International Mining and Mineral Conference at Takwa in the Western region.
The 4-day conference held under the theme Innovations in Mining and Minerals Processing, Expanding the Frontiers of Mining Technology was attended by delegates from all over the world. The conference is part of the vision of the university to internationalize its research outputs. The delegates will discuss issues relating to advancing the frontiers of technology in the mining and mineral sector. Vice-Chancellor of the University of Mines and Technology, Professor Jerry Samuel Yaokuma, said the future of today's world belongs to economies that take technology and innovation seriously in their developmental efforts. He added Ghana can develop and achieve an industrialized economy without aid if it researches into innovative technology that will assist industry to fully exploit mineral resources.
UMAT, in collaboration with the Interministerial Committee on Illegal Mining, has so far trained 2,208 small-scale miners as an important measure to help sanitize the small-scale mining sector of illegal activities. It is our hope that by the end of August this year, we would have trained 3,000 small-scale miners for the country.
Chief Executive Officer of the Minerals Commission, Kweku Adey Nkwibwe Isiakun, said it is high time the mining sector becomes innovative in the use of robots and battery-powered underground loaders and setting up innovation centers while deepening local content. He also stressed the need for collaboration between industry, academia and research institutions to achieve an objective of making technology the bedrock of sustainable development in Ghana.
Listening to you, I'm already excited. Before coming here, we had estimated the total revenue we get from bauxite mining under the integrated aluminium bauxite initiative to be at $450 billion. But what you have said, the improvement in technology that you are able to put out there, it will double to a trillion, $1 trillion through technology, innovation, and deliberately seeking new ways of mining copper. Chile has become a great nation, and I dare say we can in Ghana.
And that's it for the news, but we have more news as we review the newspapers. Kojo Yankson, Mamavi Osuabuaje, and myself will be looking at what stories are dominating the front, back pages and the center spreads of the various newspapers we have in the studio. Please know that we'll bring you some highlights from myjoyonline.com and possibly the Africa page of the BBC. We have to take a break. When we come back, all those highlights for you. Stay on.